Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. This is my 1961 Airstream Bambi 16-foot. Airstream made a few hundred of these Airstream Bambis from 1961 to 1963, later on progressing to the Bambi 2 model. This is an Ohio version. There was a California version with a slight variation in the floor plan. I bought this several months ago and my plans are to rehab it. I'm not restoring it, I'm updating it. I'm putting new systems in and I'm going to walk you through the inside of the trailer and outside of the trailer today and tell you what my plans are. So join me. Before we head inside, I want to show you one of my favorite features. And this was on some of the 1950s and early 60s trailers, was the door within a door. So there's a screen behind here. And you could have the entry door shut, but you could have the screen door portion open. And I do need to do some updating on the hinges. As you can see, someone used steel and stainless steel. And the problem is this door flew open at one point while in transport. And the doorknob slammed into the side of the trailer, put this dent here, and actually put a huge hole right here. So I replaced this one piece of aluminum using Olympic rivets to dress it up. On an earlier video you've seen me do the drip guard over the entry door. In the early stages of the project I would just want to make sure it was weather tight for the winter, so I put that in. But this screen door closes up. It's a little hard to line up because the door has sprung all the way around. And then it latches in place using this latch right here. And then when you swing this door around, there's a catch here. That locks this in place. Prevents it from flying around on a windy day. And you can see some of the original or earlier Caravan decals. 1966. A newer one. 2005 and 2007. But this one here is a 1966. That's pretty cool. So inside it looks like there's been some budget-friendly rehabs done over the years, and I had to remove the flooring they put in. They put in oak flooring, tongue and groove, but it was too tight. There was no expansion joints, so it was all buckled. And then there was a fire at one point. You can see the charring right there. Some charring on the front of the drawer. And you can see the buckles in the wall. And you can see some of the dark down there. There must have been a fire in this point here. So they cleaned and repainted the inside of the shell. This is all aluminum on the inside and has that fiberglass insulation in between. Next here, shell is all buck riveted in place. So what my plans are is to just rebuild and refresh this front bench area. So this is a bench and it's going to have a backrest to it. And I actually was able to buy cushions out of Airstream Nest, a brand new 2019 Airstream Nest cushions that are going to fit across the front here and have the backrest, and it's going to wrap around and go to the lounge area. And this slides out if you lift it up. And that makes into a bed. And you can see these slides are all original Airstream hardware. Actually see where it says Airstream. Pretty cool stuff. So this bed is wide enough for 2 adults, but the backrest of the lounge is gonna fill the void and make this into a bed. Just gotta keep it square. And then there's 3 drawers in the bottom here. I'm gonna clean them up and keep them intact. I'm going to put a brand new freshwater tank in the front. Replace the old galvanized tank. This is the original air compressor water pump. What this does is it pressurizes the tank and the neck, giving you water pressure on board. That runs on 12 volt. And it works. Pretty cool. I mapped out all the existing wiring. This is where the water pump switch was. We have original period correct light fixtures, wall sconce. Half of it is 12 volt DC. The other half is 120 volt AC. And there's 2 separate switches on the bottom. So I'm going to clean them up a bit. There's a modern style electrical outlet up front. I'll run off the shore power, which I'm going to redo. There's another wall sconce here. Same thing. AC, DC. Up front is where the 7-way ties into the trailer. The green and orange are the lighting inside the trailer. Those are the 12 volt. There's a fuse for that, for the water pump. It's amazing, the plywood floor in here is original. It's all original plywood floor. And there's not one bit of rot, and there's no soft spots anywhere. The drawers, besides being dirty, are in decent condition. You can see here the track. I'm going to gut the inside of the trailer up to the bathroom area and put vinyl style flooring. It's going to be sheet vinyl, one piece. It's going to go down throughout the whole entire trailer first. Then I'm going to hand carry all the furniture in after it's all cleaned up, and then put it on top. Where this drawer is in the front, I'm going to remove the drawer. I'm going to keep the face but clean it up, and I'm going to put behind here the power center, the AC DC fuses, where all the 12 volt DC and 120 volt AC tie together. I'm putting a Boondocker Converter where the drawer base would be. There's going to be 2 absorbed glass mat, deep cycle, 80 amp hour batteries in parallel, 12 volt. There's going to be a battery disconnect switch behind the drawer face, and an inline fuse all in this area. Already prepped the ground for AC and DC right to the frame of the trailer underneath in the belly pan. There's a side access storage compartment I'm going to abandon. I'll just leave that there. The glass is in great condition, so you're going to unlatch, and then you just twist out. You got to do it even. And then I have the insect screens. I'll re-screen them that go in there. Side windows, same thing. So I'm going to get rid of the green paint that someone put there. I'll put ocean air roller shades in. The material for the cushions is going to be ultra leather, in Wingspan it's called, special color, developed just for Airstream for the Nest series. This wall partition, I have the original mirror for it, but I'm going to redo the wall because back then these had to be really light. Most of the people were towing these with cars. So the weight is about 2,000 pounds. But you can see over the years it dry rotted. And it's really thin and really flimsy. So I'm going to redo this. I'm going to redo the frame here. I'm going to put a modern style curtain here. This is a wardrobe. I'll redo the shelf and the hanging rod. And I'm going to overlay another piece of lawn here. And I'll stain that. And there'll be a vertical piece here of oak with a rabbit and a dado to accept it. You can see where the wheel well cuts into the body. These are two of the original screens. And there's the original mirror. Some original hardware here on the pantry. And you can see the charring, the soot. That's the smoke damage from the fire that occurred in here at one point. And this is the original lifetime warranty. This would have had back then. And then it tells you your recommended tire pressure, 40 psi, and the gross vehicle weight rating of 2,500 pounds. So dry, it's about 2,000 pounds. And this is 161 T160. So 1961 travel trailer, and it's run number 160, made in Jackson Center, Ohio. You can see the original coloring of the interior shell behind inside these cabinets. You can see it was all made, very thin Luan, very flimsy, but the whole idea was to keep it light. This is the original furnace, propane furnace that I will not be using. I'm going to be installing a Truma Combi Eco Plus that runs on propane and 12 volt for a blower. It's for domestic hot water and heat. That is going to go where the water heater is. So in here is the original water heater, big galvanized barrel. I'm going to take that out, hopefully use the propane line that's prepped for, put the Truma there. I'm going to have ductwork run out here, right to this general area. Another ductwork here, and then one that's going to go behind the cabinets here. In this void was the original propane refrigerator, which was missing when I purchased the trailer. My plans are to replace it with a NovaKool 3 cubic foot compressor style AC/DC. I'm going to abandon the propane line that's prepped for it, cap that off. This right here appears to be a fiberglass black tank. Has the original style toilet. The floor is a little out of level, so I'll have to fix that. This is a wet bath where the shower and the toilet are combined into one compartment. Although this has a black tank, there is no gray tank. So my plans are, and I'll show you when we go outside, is where that drain is, I'm going to put and install a macerator pump under the trailer and then pump it into the black tank. So I'll have a combination gray-black tank. And hopefully that'll be enough, because an average shower is going to be about 3.5 gallons, to take a couple showers and use the toilet for a few days. Inside the shower, someone painted it. Different color. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. They also installed a plastic faucet, which I got rid of. Has original shower pan, pink. Copper lines all have exploded because it was never winterized properly. So I'm going to replace those with PEX. I might replace the toilet if I can't rebuild it with a modern style porcelain toilet. You can see in the shower here, part of the rear window cuts in. This is how they designed it. On the California model, the shower was on this corner and the kitchen was in this corner, so it was a little bit reversed. But in here, you can see there's a double track. One for the shower curtain for water, one for the bathroom curtain for privacy. It has, which I don't believe is original, a towel bar and a toilet paper holder. Studying pictures, it looks like this is where the original toilet paper holder was. And these are the original asbestos tiles, which I believe would have went throughout based on the markings I could see on the floor. About the same size, 9x9. This is all plywood with veneer. This shelf looks like it had water dripping on it for a long period of time, so I'm going to replace that. Has original drain and it has a very old water filter. You can see part of the water heater. All the drawers need to be cleaned up. Original cutting board. Take a look at the original style laminate countertops. Pretty scratched up, but I think I'm going to keep them. Someone added some shelves at one point, so I'm going to drill those out and add rivets to fill the holes. This is a junction box for all the electrical on board. So each one of these electrical outlets I'll have to add grounds to. You can see that a part of that circuit is the AC/DC light, so there would have been a wall sconce here. I have to replace this panel because someone just cut this way open. And then what I'm going to do is take some of that 12 volt. I'm going to put a light on the inside of the shower. So when you're in here, you got some light. I'm going to try to do incandescent instead of LED. But this will be like a wall sconce if I could find one, just like in the galley area. Has original side splash here for the 3-burner cooktop. One of the knobs is missing and the front's pretty trashed. There would have been a vent crate here. And then it would have been hooked up to this copper exhaust. Now this is for the refrigerator to collect the fumes that would come off the back of the refrigerator from the propane burning. And there's a stack through the roof, which I replaced the cover for. The rear window operates. It has the original screen. Has the original soap dish here. And I love this sink. I just wish it wasn't chipped. But it's going to add some character. And I think the faucet is original too. So that Truma is going to take care of all my hot and cold water and my heat on board. One of the things which a lot of people aren't going to understand is I will not be putting air conditioning in here. I just don't like the way it looks on the exterior on this such small of a trailer. It's missing, this is the standard vent that came with the trailer, 14x14 vent. And they had different models. Some had fans, some just had insect screens. The lid that's on here is not available anymore, and the modern style don't work. So I was lucky enough to find a baking pan made out of aluminum that was the right size. And now I could lift the lid up and have some venting. All I have to do is find the screens. And I always bring a 12 volt fan on board. You can see the floor plan, pretty open floor plan. There would have been a roof locker here over the lounge. You could see all the holes. Some of them are filled with rivets. And it would have had sliders on it. But at one point someone removed it for a more open look. I wish I had the original cabinet, because you could see it would have came all the way up to here. Someone added this shelf with modern style materials but vintage style meshing. This shelf here is original. Just going to take that paint off of it. That's pretty much it. So we're going to have a macerator pump for the shower and sink. We're going to have a NovaKool refrigerator, a Truma Combi Eco Plus, a modern style converter charger, 2 batteries, 12-volt demand pump I'm going to replace this compressor pump with, and update the wiring. Some of the gaskets here from the entry door. Make the lock on the entry door work again so I don't have to use these locks. You can see some of the original badging here. Dealer badging, Airstream badging. Marker lights, all cool stuff. There's no entry step on this model, but you can see the underbelly is completely enclosed and insulated. Gonna replace the hinges somehow, so I'm gonna have to create those. I'm not gonna put an awning on it, but it has the original awning rail. I'm going to abandon this vent, which would have been for the furnace exhaust, but it looks nice, so I'll just leave it. I'm going to replace the axle system, the newer style axle, and also I'll be changing out the rims because it's going to be a 5-lug now, and tires, so it'll be a little bit higher off the ground. It's going to be a Dexter axle. Underneath here, you can see the drain for the shower. And the drain for the black tank. This pipe has a crack in it, so that's going to have to be repaired. You can see the original frame structure and the plywood floor all intact. And the insulation. And the newer axle, I'm going to restore the braking system that is not active right now. And I'm not going to polish it. I decided just to leave it the way it is. I'm going to clean up the rear bumper and the frame and paint it. This hole here is for the tool that slides out to empty the black tank. Some original dealer badging, original license plate bracket, even has a light inside, original hair windows. I love all the details. The gutter rails here, it's beautiful. The badging, that's the replacement vent. That's the black tank vent. Roof clearance lights. This is where the original power cord would have came in. So when you open up this door, you'd wind it up right here. And then run the cord out and plug it in. I'm going to seal this up. I'm going to put the power cord up front. I'm going to go with a newer style Marine Co. power cord. This is the original water heater. I'm going to leave this exactly the way it is on the outside. Even though it's quite bulky, I like the way it looks. I like the original character. I'm going to cut in right here or here, and that's where the Truma exhaust and the fresh air return is going to be. These are the original hubcaps, which I can't use anymore because the newer style rims, they won't fit. The roof profile, I'm going to keep it just with the vent up top. I'm going to clean up some of these scuffs on the outside. Keep this compartment closed off. And then this is where the original television antenna, the aerial, would have been. There would have been a bracket here. You'll be able to raise it to get TV reception. There's no more antenna anymore, so I'm just going to leave that there as is. This hole is where the cable would have ran into the body. You can see the window frames, it's all aluminum frame. This has some of the older style weight distribution kit snap-up brackets. I'm going to touch up this frame and safety chains. I updated the 7-way and I put an extension on it for my truck. Has original manual hitch jack on the front, which works. And this is newer style. These are for my 68 Caravel I had at one point. 20-pound propane bottles. I updated and put a newer style regulator in, which you can manually switch from left to right bottle. Newer style hoses. And then the clamp system I used out of a modern Airstream. The bottom clamp holds the bottles tight. Then there's the regulator bracket, 2 spacers, then the lock, which is this threaded rod, and then I have an old style padlock on here to prevent theft. Colin Hyde was able to duplicate the original battery cover. Now I'm not going to be putting batteries in here anymore, but the original style would be like tractor style batteries that would have been in here. And there was a 12-volt wire that ran inside to some type of converter. But he was able to recreate that with just some sketches I sent him and measurements, and he shipped it to my house and it fit perfectly. This is the original connection for water. So this would be city water, or if you take this cap off, would be where you'd fill your freshwater tank. And then this here, this little Schrader valve here, is how you, if you had a hand pump and you wanted to pressurize the water system, if you didn't have battery, you could do it that way. And I have a lot more ideas. I've been sketching them for months. If you want to see some of the ideas I had. Lots of ideas on where to locate things. LP system, plumbing system, the waste system, electrical system, where the batteries are going to be, a to-do list, and then mapping out the fuse panel. So I'm getting there. Well, there's going to be a series of videos I'm going to do as I progress. So one of the things I want to plan on doing, I have original style aluminum. I'm going to drill out all these rivets and replace this buckled panel. That way you don't see that ripple effect when you come inside. That's all from the heat from the fire. But in my next video, I'm going to show you all the products I bought and how I have them laid out for planning, and then what my ideas are going to be for the woodwork on here and how I'm going to make that, and the flooring and the painting, and I'm going to include you on most of the progress. Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, subscribe, share. I love it, and we'll see you soon.